Hello everyone, Medford Collectibles back here for another video. We have a big PSA reveal. See the stack in front of me. There's 110 cards that got graded. Then we have 8 cards that came back ungraded for different reasons. I'm sorry, I think it's 108 cards. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, 110 cards graded, 8 cards that not graded for different reasons. We'll go through those. So overall pretty good, 110 out of 118, all vintage order up through 1989. That was the special. I sent these in on March 1st. And they just came back about 2 days ago, I think, July 6th. So a little bit longer turnaround time. So March, April, May, about 4 months, door to door. So I got a bunch of notes here around grades and costs. I already know the grades. I went through everything and kind of just looked to see how we did. Put some notes down on what I paid for the cards raw, or if I bought them and then cracked them out of some slabs. I did a few of these are crackouts. I do have some crackouts here to go through as well. And as always, you guys like the videos, give us a follow, give us a like. Medford Collectibles on all the platforms. We also just joined Threads, the new Instagram, Twitter-like platform. So I opened up on that as well. I haven't really done anything on Twitter in the past, but Threads is easier. It's just I'm already on Instagram, so it's simple. So give us a follow there as well. So let's get into this. I'll try to go through and compare what I thought the grades were. There is a pre-grade video from back in probably late February if you guys want to check that out. I also kind of know what I spent, what the fees were, what my profit was. So I have some of those numbers I'll share towards the end. Let's start with these. So first here, this is kind of hard to see, it's so big. First you got Ernie Banks. This is a 1964 Topps Photo Tattoos. This is a low pop tattoo card. The only reason why I got it great, I knew it was gonna be a 1 or an authentic. There's actually another one, I sent in 2. So I sent in 2 of these. This one was in worse shape. So again, I assumed authentic or 1. This one came back as probably too fragile to slab because it's in pretty rough shape. So they actually gave me a refund for this. They didn't charge me. And this one they gave the 1. So I'm pretty pleased with that. About what I expected. So unfortunate to have the 1 not get slab, but they gave me a refund. So this is probably worth like, I don't know, 50 bucks in this grade. This came in one of the big lots that I purchased. So I probably paid a couple bucks for the card. So there's those 2 that came back. Oh, just jammed my camera. And this one they didn't grade is extremely fragile, especially at the top. It's like very thin, kind of falling apart. And then these other big ones here, the Eagles Police 1986. I had these all, I think 8 or 9 is where I was expecting. Actually, I had them all as 9s, and they all came back 9s. So you got the Jaworski in a 9, you got the Randall Cunningham in a 9, and then Reggie White in a 9. Those all came back as expected. They're all between, like, I don't know, between probably 30 and 50 bucks depending on the player. Nothing super valuable there. Again, those all came in a big collection. I probably paid $1 a piece for those cards, and they were in good shape, so I sent them in. Let's go through some of those that didn't get graded. This first one's an old Judge. I didn't put it back in a sleeve, which is kind of silly. I guess they're worried about it. But this card is trimmed and skimmed. So they took not only did they cut the bottom of the old Judge card off, they took the back off as well. So I'm just trying to get it authenticated. Again, they didn't charge me for this. I refunded it. And I don't know what I'll do with this. It is an authentic old Judge card. It's just in pretty rough shape. Another one I tried, Bond Bread. They wouldn't grade this either. Primo Carnera. This is the same set as Jackie Robinson's Bond Bread Rookie. And they wouldn't grade it, so they sent it back, no charge. Pretty unfortunate. This one I'm not sure. This one, they came back as recolored. I went over this whole thing with a scope, went over the edges after the fact, because I didn't catch it beforehand, obviously. And I can't figure out where it's recolored at. So it's a 1962 Bob Gibson. I think I expected like a 4 maybe on it. I had a 5. Expecting a 5 on it with the wood border. Clean card. I still can't figure out after looking at it where it's recolored at. So I'll probably look at this close again and maybe give it a shot with SGC if I can't find it myself. But yeah, kind of unfortunate there. So Bob Gibson, they did charge me for that one because it's recolored. This one came back as altered. I was hoping to just get this authenticated. I know it's altered. There's a race mark right here on the top left of this 1933 Gaudi. For 15 bucks, I was just trying to get it in a holder, but they wouldn't slap it because of the race mark. So they charged me for this one as well, 15 bucks. And a couple more here. We had a men's size on 1962 Maze. I was hoping to get a 4 on this one, men's size. Again, I'll probably send this to SGC. This was a no charge to see if I can get it slabbed. Sometimes they're a little more lenient with miscuts and things. Another men's size, this one surprised me because it's not like it's in great shape. It's Eddie Matthews, 1953 Bowman. Again, said men's size, so no charge. I think I was hoping for like a 2 or a 3 on this. He had a 2 on it, nothing high grade, just $15 is cheap. I was gonna get it just put in a slab. And then 1983 Fleer Tony Gwynn, I sent a bunch of these. I had them all between 8 and 9. And this one came back men's size on that card as well. So again, I don't know what I'll do with this. This probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to send back in. I kind of got what I wanted. I sent in 3 of these hoping to get a 10, and spoiler alert, I pulled one, so I'll probably just sell this raw. So there's nothing really much I can do with that now. Let's jump into these. So we'll start oldest to newest. So a lot of this stuff in here is from the 80s. It came in that big collection I bought that I've been showing some videos on that I spent 5,300 bucks on. The guy had some very clean 80s cards, some 70s stuff, but a lot of clean 80s stuff, and I just took a chance on a lot of it, hoping to get some good grades. That was really my strategy. I sent in a bunch of the clean stuff, hoping to get some good grades. Did pretty well. I think probably a little lower than expectations on some. Definitely some surprises that kind of paid for the order. So we'll just start jumping into this. So first up, this is a card I bought raw off eBay. Kiki Kyler, 1927 W560. Was hoping for authentic, came back authentic. It's one of those playing cards, so what I expected there, which is good. Actually, this one's kind of weird though. This holder, it's almost like it isn't sealed. You see how the bubbles are still here? Usually when they heat seal these, the bubbles shrink, and it feels a little loose. So this, I'm not sure that this holder is, like I can almost move it. It's kind of a weird one. Forgot about it, so I just saw the bubbles, but I'm not sure that this was sealed correctly. So anyway, hopefully it doesn't come apart. Next up, this is a nice surprise. Johnny Mize, 49 Bowman, PSA 6. This was in a pure graded X holder as a 5. So I cracked it out of that because there was nothing I was going to do with that. And I was hoping I was going to get a 4. Usually these smaller grading companies like this will overgrade. But looked good. Came back a 6. So that was a great surprise here. I paid 38 bucks for the card in the pure graded X holder. And by cracking it and now getting a 6 is probably worth 150 bucks or so. So good surprise there. That'll go in my Hall of Fame collection. That's not going to be sold. So going to the Johnny Mize. The one for my Hall of Fame collection. I'd hope to get a little better on this. I think I was hoping for a 4 or a 5. This is when I sent in the CSG and they didn't have the holders that would fit the bigger cards. So it came back at 3.5. Little less than expected, but a card I paid 12 bucks for it raw. You know, 15 to get it graded. It's probably worth about what I paid for it now. Campanella, 56 tops and a 3. That's what I expected on that one. Mel Triplet. This is just a clean copy. I was kind of hoping to get a 7. I wrote down 6, and I think I expected 6. Paid 5 bucks for the card. You know, I was just trying to pull a little higher grade. So it's, again, probably a $25 card in that grade. I had a whole bunch of 1960 stuff I bought in a big lot. So Bob Gibson in a 3, which is what I expected. So about a $50 card there. We got a Jim Cott rookie card in a 2. which is again what I expected. So again, not highly valuable, probably 30 bucks, 40 bucks. Got a Yastrzemski rookie in a 2, which is again what I expected. That one's worth a little more, probably 150 bucks in a 2. These cards have gone up. So a good surprise there. Happy to hit the grade I expected on that one. Put that one up there. Willie Mays in a 3, which is a half point higher. I had a 2.5 on that one. So again, pretty good card in that grade, worth about 120 bucks on the Mays. Yeah, Stam Usual, 1960 tops. I had a 3 on this one. Came back 3. So it's good there. Aaron, I had a 3 on this one as well. This one came back at 2, so I did a little worse on this one. Probably just a little too OC. There's a big scratch in the front of his face there, I can see. Didn't do quite as well there. These cards, these 60s cards, I paid pretty much 20 bucks a piece for all of them. Is kind of how I allocated it. Costs a lot out the stars. A whole bunch of commons as well. But for Cubby rookie, I actually had a 4 MC on this, and it came back a 4 MC. So about a $100 card and a 4 MC. But good looking card, just off center. So it's all right. 60 tops, Yogi Berra. I had a 4 on this, came back a 5. Did a little better on that one. So again, about a $90 card in that grade. Paid 20 bucks for it, 15 to grade, so it's gonna make some profit on that one. Got a McCovey. This is All-Star rookie. I had a 2 on this one. It came back a 1.5, so slightly under what I expected on this one. Not very valuable in a 1.5, 30, 35 bucks, something like that. Next up, we have a Matthews All-Star. I had a 3.5 on this, came back a 4. Not super valuable, but again, 15 bucks. Get them graded up, make them easier to move. Roger Maris. I had a 2 on that, came back a 1.5. Probably $30 card. Aaron, I had a 3, came back a 3. So it was a little more, probably 70 bucks or so. This is probably the best surprise of the order right here. This is the biggest card in the order. This Bob Pettit was a CSG 7.5. Bought it in that collection. Paid 180 bucks for it in the CSG 7.5 holder. I was hoping just to get a 7. PSA 7 would have still increased the value over the CSG 7.5. Came back an 8. So this one is, you know, again, paid 180 bucks, 15 to grade. So I'm into the card for about 200 bucks, and it's now probably a $600 card in this grade. So this is the biggest surprise of the order. I will be selling this card, so if you guys are looking for high grade 61 Fleer, Bob Pettit, reach out. It was a nice surprise. Those ones, you know, $400 value gain by cracking out of the CSG slab, which is great. I had valued the card at 300 bucks in the 7.5, but I paid 60% on the big order that I bought, so I did very well on that one, which was good to see. You need a couple of those when you buy big lots like that. All right, so that was a good surprise. Next up, 61 tops, strikeout leaders. I only sent this in because I thought it would be a 5 or better. Actually, no, I had a 6 MK on this. I think because of the little mark down here. So I think you probably just graded it with that mark in mind. That's why I got the 4. So 6 MK or a 4 is about the same. So, not bad there. Next up, Whitey Ford, 3.5, 61 tops. I had this as a 5. So this one got considerably less than I expected. Probably corners just too soft. That's probably what that is. A little OC on the back. Too many issues there to get a, might even be a little crease there on the bottom, now that I'm looking at it. But 3.5, again, not very valuable on a 3.5, probably a $20 card. This was a 62 post, early win. Very sharp card. CSG Authentic, again, came in that collection. I was hoping it would get a number grade because you can see the black borders very lightly around it. So I was, see it up here, the black borders. I think it's just a little bit too miscut along the top. So I had this as a 5 if they graded it, or authentic if they didn't grade it. So it came back the authentic, Still looks great, just not quite big enough to get the grade. So it's that's kind of a disappointment. I think I paid, I don't know, I probably paid 18 or 20 bucks for that card and the CSG Authentic holder and a PSA Authentic holder. I don't know that it's worth 40 or 50 bucks, but I don't know, we'll see. Same thing here. I was hoping just to get a grade, but knew had a chance at Authentic. So this was, I said Authentic or a 5 MK. I think there's some staining on the back, yeah. But again, 15 bucks, you can take a chance and get these in a holder. 62 Topps K-Line. Had a 4.5 on this, came back a 5. Did a little better there. About a $50 card. 64 Topps. This is the Koufax, Ellsworth, and Friend. I had this as a 6, came back as a 5. So in a 6 would have been kind of worth it. In a 5, it's worth probably 35 bucks or so. Not a very valuable card. 65 Topps Home Run Leaders. This is another one I had as a 6 and it came back a 4. This one I got crushed on. You look at it, it looks pretty sharp. I don't know why it got a 4. There could be a small crease I missed or something. Maybe the corners are too, I can't really, there might be a little crease there in that bottom right corner. Good looking card, just, so I missed by 2 grades on this one. That doesn't happen too often, but it did on this one. So it kind of negated grading that card. Probably worth 25 bucks in that grade. Not really worth it. 65 Topps. Eddie Matthews just came in that big collection I bought. Got a 5, which is what I expected. So happy with that. 67 Topps Mel Stoudemire. I had a 7 on this, came back a 7. So near mint card from the 60s. Have a good star there. 67 Topps Don Sutton. I had a 6 on this, it came back a 5. So undershot on this one, or overshot on this one as well. Thought I was sharp enough to get the 6, but came in a 5. Hall of Famer, just not that valuable in that grade, probably 25 bucks. Rod Crew All-Star. This one was in a CSG 7 holder. Again, bought it in that collection. Paid 42 bucks for it. So I had this valued around, what would that have been? I think I had it valued around 65 or so is where I had it valued. Maybe 70 in the CSG 7. Came back at PSA 6. So a grade less. That is what I expected. No, I had 6.5 on it. So I was hoping for a 6.5. Came back a 6. Still probably increased the value going from a CSG 7 to a PSA 6, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but so that might end up my Hall of Fame collection anyways. I'm not sure if I have a better crew than that in a 68. And then Steve Carlton. This one came out of the same collection. I was hoping a 6.5 on this as well. This was not graded when I got it. It was raw in that collection. So, I mean, I only paid, I think, 5 bucks for this card. And a 6.5, it's worth 35 bucks or so. Or and a 6, it's worth 35 bucks or so. So, a little worse on that one. All right, let's move into the next set here. That was all the pre-70s cards. So, a couple good hits in there. A couple good surprises. Let's keep going. This is going to be a longer video, so you guys stick around and watch, but we'll try to move a little faster. We got a 71 sticker. This is a PSA 3. I had expected a 4 on this. Got Lou Alcindor there. So slightly under, but a pretty cool card. Not that valuable. Worth probably 30 bucks. Rick Barry. This one I lost on pretty big. I bought this raw. I paid up on it and I bought it in an auction. In the auction, it looked like it was a near mint card, and then I got it in hand, and you could really see some of the damage on it. So I'd hoped for a 4 once I got it in hand. Came back at 3.5. I got crushed in this card. It's worth probably, I don't know, maybe 50 bucks in this grade. So I paid a lot more than that for it. That happens sometimes. Next up here, Oscar Robinson. This one I'd hoped for a 6. Came back at 5. Again, I bought this in that big collection. Paid 9 bucks for it. 15 to grades, probably worth 40 bucks in this grade. So made a little bit of money there by grading. Same thing here, came in that collection, 73 Topps Clemente. Paid 18 bucks for it, plus another 15 to grade, so I'm into about 35 bucks, and it's worth about 50 bucks in a 5. So probably didn't have to grade this card, but Clemente's 5 or better. There's people that collect those. My brother's a big collector of Clemente, and 5 or better. So 73 Topps Jim Palmer. I had hoped for a 6 on this card, so it came back at 6.5. Did a little better. 6.5 of that card's 35 bucks or so. Probably paid 5 bucks for this card in that big collection purchase. Not bad there. Carlton Fisk, 1973 Topps. Hoped for a 5, came back a 6. A little better, not super valuable, but Hall of Famer. Good grade there for that set. Dave Winfield, here's a bigger card. Dave Winfield rookie, 74 Topps. This is one I paid. What did I pay for this? 18 bucks. Hoped for a 7, got a 7. It's probably worth 100 bucks in this grade. This was one that I don't believe will be for sale. This will be on my Hall of Fame collection, so I don't think I have a 7 or better on a Winfield rookie. So I'll put that one up there. This was, I was shooting for a high grade. I had an 8 down, it came back an 8. It's not a very valuable card. I was really hoping somehow I'd pull a 9 secretly, but still came back the 8. Worth 25 bucks in this grade. I mean, I probably paid a couple bucks for this in that collection purchase, so kind of just getting my money back there. 76 Topps George Brett. Hoped for a 7, got a 7. So second year George Brett. It's about a $90 card in that grade. So I did pretty well on that one. Again, probably paid 5 bucks for that card in the collection. Got a Bly 11. I'd hoped for an 8 on this card. It came back an 8.5. So great grade on this Bly 11. Probably worth 35 bucks in that grade. Got some Johnny Benches here. Had 2 of these. I'd hoped for a 7 or an 8 on the 2. They both came back 7s. So it did kind of 1 grade worse on one of them, I guess. They're worth about 50 bucks each in that grade. I think I paid 6 bucks a piece for those or so. So did okay there. I got a Nolan Ryan here, 76 Topps. This is a crack out. Again, out of that collection, CSG 7.5. So cracked it. Was hoping for a 7. Got the big surprise with an 8. So good Nolan Ryan there, 76 Topps. I paid $36 for that card in a CSG 7.5. That's what I paid for it. And now in the PSA 8, comps are around 160. So good $100 gain there by cracking and resubbing the PSA. Again, good surprise. I had a couple of these crackouts that were great surprises from CSG to PSA. Gaining grades. You know, gaining a half grade on 2 of those bigger cards was very good. Got a Bruce Sutter rookie. Again, this isn't that valuable of a card, but I need it for my Hall of Fame collection. I'd hoped for a 6 on this one. Came back an 8. I think I was a little harsh on this card, I guess. I guess probably the OC on the back. Almost looks like it's diamond cut there. I think that's probably why I said 6 and they said 8. But I will take that. It'll be a good addition to my Hall of Fame collection for, I'm sorry, Bruce Sutter, not Sutter, Sutter. We've got rookie catchers here. I was hoping for a 6 or a 7 on these. These are 2 Dale Murphy rookie cards. Hoping for a 6 and a 7 and got 2 7s. So pretty good surprise there. These are worth about 60 bucks each and a 7. Dale Murphy, big star for the Braves, obviously. Not a Hall of Famer. Got a 78 Topps Eddie Murray. Hope for an 8. Got a 7 on that one. Oh wait, 78 Murray. No, I had hoped for a 7 on this. Got a 7. So kind of met the expectation there. Again, these are cards mostly picked up raw in that big collection I bought for $5-10 bucks each. We've got Lou Whitaker rookie cards here. Got 2 of them. I'd hope for a 7 and an 8 on these. And I got 2 8s. It's a good, nice little surprise there. They're worth about 65 bucks each in that grade. So again, good surprise. I probably paid $5 a piece for those raw in that collection. So added some value. Got a Paul Molitor rookie. This one will probably end up in my Hall of Fame collection as well. I don't think I have an 8 or better in a Molitor. I'd hoped for a 7 on this card, came back an 8. Pretty valuable card now. It's worth about 170 bucks in an 8. So I like that surprise as well. That's a good one to get. Let's pull down the Yaz and put up the Molitor. All right. And last from the 70s, Eddie Murray, hope for an 8, got an 8. Again, not super valuable, $25 card or so. I just looked really clean, so I figured I'd get it slabbed up. You know, if by some luck you pull a 9, the value shoots up pretty high. But just got the 8 there, which is what I was expecting. All right, let's go into the 80s. So this first batch is from 80 to 86. You're gonna see some very good surprises in here. Also some disappointments. A lot of these cards from the 80s, they don't grade a 9. They're not really worth anything because they're so overprinted. So you almost need 9 or better to really do anything with these cards. So I took some chances, had some duds, had some good ones. I think overall it worked out. First up, first dud, 1 for 1 on the duds. I had hoped this was going to be a 9 is why I sent it in. I don't know why it got a 7. There's probably something there surface-wise or something I probably missed. I looked over these pretty close. I don't really see it looking at it like this, but home for a 9, came back a 7. That's probably like a $10 card. Not very good. Not very good on that one. It gets better though. Next up, we got Ozzie Smith. I was hoping for a 2 Ozzie Smiths. Hoping for a 7 and 8, and I got a 7 and 8. So again, these aren't really that valuable in this grade. When I set these in, secretly hoping one could sneak out a 9 is kind of why I sent some of these. I was just chasing some higher grade stuff. So those are like $10, $15 cards in this grade. They're really not worth that much. But you can have some of those when you're chasing some higher grade stuff. We had a Nolan Ryan. This is my last crack out from this order. Again, CSG 8.5. So I had hoped for an 8 on this one. I paid 18 bucks on this card in the CSG 8.5. Hope for an 8. I was really hoping I could do better than that even, but it came back an 8. So it did kind of meet the expectation of what I had. I didn't really make anything on this one. This one I probably lost on a little bit. Probably a $30 card, an 8. This was kind of a mistake there, but that's okay. You win some, you lose some. We had a couple Fleer Rickies here. So we had an 8 on one and a 9 on one. 351 we had an 8, and the other one we had a 9. That's what we got. So these aren't super valuable, 20, 30 bucks. Clean cards, again, kind of secretly hoping that one of them will sneak a 10. Next up was an 82 Donruss Ozzie Smith Diamond Kings, and this one I actually did predict a 10 on. I couldn't find a flaw with this card. It's a low pop, 82 Donruss Ozzie Smith. Recent comps around 200 bucks or so. I probably paid $1 for this card. I mean, when you buy it raw, it's really not worth that much, but to get a 10, 82 Donruss is a nice surprise. So we will take that. We'll let's take down the Winfield and put up Ozzie. There's a great surprise on that card. So yeah, we'll take that. 82 Donruss. Ricky Henderson, I had an 8 on this card, came back a 9. And a 9 is still not that valuable. Only worth 25, 30 bucks. So to the right buyer, maybe you get a little more, but got what I expected there. Again, probably paid $1 for it. Now I have it in 9, worth 25, 30 bucks. Another big surprise coming up. Cal Ripken, this was raw, bought in that collection raw. I paid 60 bucks for this raw. Was hoping for an 8, and it came back a 9. So this was a huge surprise here, because on an 8, it's probably a $100 card, but in a 9, it's a $350 card. This is another one that ended up my Hall of Fame collection, so this one won't go anywhere. Be staying with me. I don't know that I'll ever have a 10 in this card. They're pretty pricey. I've got a lot of cards to chase still, so good on the Topps rated rookie of Ripken to get a 9. Singletary, this is one I had a 9 on as well. It came back a 9. So I paid probably $5 for this card. In a 9, it's worth about 65 bucks. It's a good Singletary rookie there. In a 10, that card shoots up to in the thousands. Next up, we have a couple Sandberg rookies. What did I have on these? I had 8 and 9, came back 7 and 9. So I kind of missed on the lower one, hit the bigger one. Worth probably 15 bucks in this grade and like 65 bucks in this grade. So overall, did okay. I didn't pay much for those cards either. I think I paid maybe $8 a piece for the cards. So still making out on those. Sandberg may end up in my Hall of Fame collection. I don't know what I have for his rookie card. We got a Boggs rookie here. I had an 8 on this card, came back a 9, so you're gonna get a pretty good surprise there. It's probably a $100 card, a 9. The Wade Boggs rookie, take that. 83 Fleer Ripken. This was only sent in because I thought it was gonna be a 9 and secretly hoping it could be even higher than that. Came back at 8.5. So this is a loser. This is I mean, he's not a loser, but it's probably a $15 card. So didn't do too well on that one, unfortunately. Probably paid $1 for it. So I didn't lose a lot. Just it happens. 83 Fleer Wade Boggs, another rookie here. This one I had as a 9, and it came back a 9. So his rookie card in the Fleer is worth 25 bucks. His Topps is worth 100 bucks in the 9. He's just the flagship Topps from this era just outpaces the Donruss and Fleer by a ton. This is another huge surprise in the order. So I showed you guys the Tony Gwynn's. The one that was min size. I had on these 8 or 9 on the 3. You know, again, secretly hoping for a 10 on one of them, and I got the 10. So in an 8, this card is worth 20 bucks. In a 10, the card's worth 380 bucks. So great surprise there to get a 10 on that card. Hit some 10s on some very early, 80s cards, which is always a great surprise, and is why you send enough of these in, you get some of these big surprises like this. It kind of makes sense for the entire order. So got a couple of the big ones up there. So the 10, the 8 in the Pettit, the 10 in the Smith, the 9 in the Ripken. Those 4 cards nearly pay for the order almost. It's pretty crazy how that can work out. Next up, 84 Fleer Ripken. I think I had this probably as a 9. Yeah, I had it as a 9, came back as an 8. So not worth anything in an 8. 10 bucks maybe. So that was a mistake there. 84 Donruss Wade Boggs, had as a 9, came back as a 9. It's probably 25 bucks. Again, secretly hoping for some 10s on these, but didn't want to be disappointed, so that's kind of worth it. This one I was hoping for a 10. It's the only reason why I sent this Van Slyke rookie in, was I was hoping it was going to be a 10. Came back a 9. Probably a $20 card and a 9. So bigger star from the 80s and early 90s, but not worth much in a Donruss 9 there. Got a Kirby rookie. I'd hoped for an 8 on this, came back at 8.5, so did a little better on this one. Probably worth like 30, 35 bucks on an 8.5. Kirby Puckett rookie. Sent in some bonds. Was hoping for 9s or 10s on these. This first one got a 9, which is what I wrote down as I expected, but again, I was kind of hoping that we would pull a 10 on some of these cards. So that one's worth about 25 bucks. Again, probably paid $1 or $2 for that. Didn't really pay much for those. Let's see. McGriff. I needed a McGriff for my Hall of Fame collection. Recent inductee. I sent in a Leaf and a Donruss. I was hoping one of them would pull a 9. They both pulled 8s. So I'll probably hang on to the Leaf in my collection. It's the more valuable of the two. This is probably worth 30 bucks in an 8. This is probably worth 20. Not really much there. But new Hall of Famer. Again, I need one of those for my collection anyway, so. Sportflix bonds. I had 9 and a 10. I did expect to get a 10 on one of these. I got a 10 on both. So that was a good surprise. Those are worth about 50 bucks each in that grade. Not near as much as some of his other 86 rookies in a 10, but these are these gem up a little easier because of the card stock. More bonds. 86 Fleer update. I did have this as a 9, but I was hoping, actually, these are out of order. Okay, there's two here. I was hoping for, I had 9/10, and instead I got 8/9. I know they're very difficult on these cards with the blue border, and if you can gem one though, it really increases the value. So it's kind of like the Gwyn rookie. The difference between an 8 and a 10 is a few $100. So I was hoping to pull one, got an 8 and a 9, probably a 10 and $20 card in those grades. Here's another one. I had a 9 on the Canseco rookie with Plunk, but I thought it could be clean enough to pull a 10. Didn't really see any issues with it. Came back a 9, so it's probably worth, 35 bucks. So nothing super crazy there. Last stack. We are at 36 minutes, so I appreciate if you're still hanging with me going through these. This is all the 87 to 89. So first up, we're gonna get through this pretty quick because there are 10 of the exact same card. And I was 10 hunting on this card. I wanted to pull 110. I sent in that collection I bought, there was probably 30 of these. I pulled out what I thought were the 10 best, and I was just hoping to get 110. I did have my sheet 8 or 9 for them, so again, didn't want to be disappointed, but we didn't hit any 10s, unfortunately. They still have some value in a 9. They're not too bad. I think they're worth maybe 30 bucks in a 9, so you can make a little bit of money. I probably paid, I don't know. If I paid $1 a piece for these, I'd be surprised in that collection purchase. So here's what we ended up with. On 10 Bo Jackson rookies, okay, it looks kind of silly now because we didn't pull any 10s. We had 5 8s. Black border cards, very difficult. So 5 8s there. Those are worth probably, I don't know, 15 bucks a piece maybe. We had 3 8.5s that came back. Those are probably worth 20, 25 bucks a piece. Then we did get 2 9s that came back, and those are probably around 30 bucks a piece. So still theoretically got my money back on those, but disappointed. I was hoping to get 110 out of all those. Didn't happen, so it's the way it goes. Got some other good 10s to make up for it. Next up was Palmeiro rookies. Hall of Famer. I need them in my collection. I was just hoping to pull a 9. So I was either gonna go pay for it or just pay to have one grade that I already have. I didn't get a 9, I got an 8 and 8.5. I'm sorry, I got 2 8s. I had hoped for, I had 8 or 9 in there, so I got 2 8s. So again, these are worth nothing in an 8. They're like $5 cards. So these I lost quite a bit on. But I'll probably keep one in my collection for now, and then upgrade later. So those are kind of busts. I had some classic yellows in here. Bo Jackson, I hope for a 9 on, came back an 8. So I missed by 1 there. Not a super valuable card in that grade, maybe 20 bucks or so. Sent in 3 Barry Bonds from the same set, hoping to pull a 10. And I missed again. I got 8.5, 9, and 9. These cards are rough cut around the edges. So I was hoping to pull 110 out of that, but 8.5, 9, 9, probably 20 to 25 bucks in those grades. So not that great there. So these 80s cards, if you miss, 9 or 10, they're really not worth anything. 87 Fleer for the Bo Jackson rookie. I had a 9, came back a 9. Again, secretly hoping I could somehow squeeze out a 10. This one's, I see the bottom there's a little rough. So 9 on that one, probably 25 bucks or so. This one was this one's kind of embarrassing. I had an 8 on this card and came back a 4. And I see now why it came back a 4. There's a crease in it right there, right down here. I don't know if that crease was there when I sent it, because I looked over these cards pretty close. And I did not see a crease. It's a sticker card, so they are very thin, will crease easily. So it could have been there and I just missed it. I don't know. But that's worth nothing in a 4. So maybe I might get 10 bucks for that. We'll see. 88 Fleer, Dennis Rodman, and an 8. That's what I expected on that one. It says rookie cards. That's worth, 45 bucks or so. Pretty decent card. On that one, 88 Fleer Barkley. I had a 9 on this one, came back a 9. So that's a pretty good card there as well. 30 bucks or so. Barkley, big fan base. The last surprise of the order is here on the Barry Sanders. Now I had put down 9 or 10. Again, just you pull 110, it pays for the rest of them in cards like this. So I had put down 9 or 10. I got 8, 8, 8, and a 10. We did pull a 10 on this one. So in the 8s, 15 bucks a piece, and the 10, 120. So that's all it takes is you pull 110 and it kind of covers the rest of them. So happy to get a 10 on that card as well. Nice little surprise there. And then 2 more. This is the miss. Griffey, I had a 9 on this card. Came back a 7. It's pretty rough. I don't know why it came back so low, but it did. Looked pretty sharp to me. Wouldn't have sent it otherwise. I got a bunch of Griffey rookies. It is OC on the back. Maybe slightly OC on the front. There are some like print dots, like fish eyes and stuff that could have impacted it, like on the edges, like on the borders there. But in a 7, again, probably a $15 card. Last but not least, I needed a Johnson rookie for my Hall of Fame collection. I thought this one could be a 9. Either gonna pay 25 bucks for it or pay 15 to get it graded. So came back an 8, $10 card and an 8. It's not really worth anything. Thought it was clean, but it came back a little worse than expected. So, but overall, pretty pleased with the order. And again, thank you guys for sticking around. But some of the bigger ones here, and I cleared some of them as well. But got the Molitor rookie in an 8, Ripken in a 9. Got the Ozzie Smith Diamond Kings 10, the Tony Gwynn Fleer 10 rookie, the Bob Pettit 8, 1961 Fleer. If you guys like the video, if you're interested in any cards, please reach out on any of the platforms. I'll respond. I'll be slowly getting these listed over the next couple days on eBay and MySlabs, and I may post some stories and stuff with some sales. As always, if you guys are looking for these cards, check out all the platforms: Medford Collectibles, eBay, Facebook, Instagram, MySlabs, and now on Threads. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you next time.